in Kuala Lumpur, so don't go around looking unsexy, but in Kuala Lumpur. Okay, now you know that planning for pedestrianism and cycling for Kuala Lumpur is both in arts and science. There are a lot of thinking, there are a lot of strategizing, and there are also technologies behind the planning process. We don't have much time, but I still want to give an opportunity to the audience. Maybe we can have one or two questions from the audience. We have more than two hands, sorry. Okay, we have the first one and maybe one from the back. Just two, because our session should end by 11. There's another event here. Okay, yes. Please state your name and your agency. Thank you.
My name is Asro Maridin from University of Malaya. The first two sessions enlightened me, but the final session frightened me. It reminds me what happened to Cambridge Analytica. It reminds me what happened to Brexit. It reminds me what happened to Trump. It takes of information, data you manipulate, and like for example Brexit, you just need less than 2% of false data, and the whole UK kaput. Yeah. So right now, if let's say I use your data and pretend that particular space or particular area, particular property is very popular, and I can sell it at a premium, whereas it's actually not a premium. So right now the point in question is that how do you manage and control this information? And mind you, the person who advised Sabajaya, the late L.V. Toffler, whoever controlled the information, controlled the world. And I think Putin knows that. Thank you.
Cik Fauzi, maybe this is best for you.
Okay, thank you so much for the question. Actually, when we grab all this data, there are a few things that we have to consider. Number one, we make sure that it's not violating the PDPA. So we do not have the information on personal data. And then to ensure that these are valid, so there has to go through a lot of crunching. Let's say, for example, when you look at the trend, all this thing has to be taken at a historical time lapse. So if you see an outlier, the same thing like when we look at the GPS data, when you see that the data, when we plot it out and say, hey, it doesn't make sense for the police to go into the sea, to drive the sea. So these are logic that we have to put in place. Here, in MIMOS, we also look at the consideration of the algorithm to actually cleanse the data. Other than that, in terms of property, it's about how we crawl the data, and then because crawling the data doesn't mean that you crawl the data and then grab it and then after that publish it immediately. You have to go through the cleansing, the harmonizing process, and then you talk about the processing of them. So far we are quite we are very professional. We are very okay. Nothing to be alarmed. There is no PDPA violation, for example. But so far we are trying to do. We are really doing it for the benefit of the citizen.
But people can manipulate your data.
Yeah, that's the thing. When data people can manipulate, which is beyond our control. But then see, when there must be okay, we are also involved with smart city for under the Ministry Kementerian Wilayah, Pulau Bandar dan Wilayah. We know that we are requesting for open data, but how we manage open data is something that the government is not going to let it go very freely yet now. So we need to really put in place a very good system right now. I think manipulation of data is everywhere.
I hope that in the future we can say in MIMOS we trust. Okay, can we have another question? Just one more question. Any questions on pedestrian bicycles? Which one? Okay, maybe a lady this time. Okay. Even if you do not have any chance to ask questions, you can approach the panels outside the room. I'm sure they are more than willing to share.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Aslina from Architect Aslina, and I'm an architect. Actually, I love to walk nowadays, but only my problem is that DPKL or other cities, they do provide walkways, but definitely not wide enough. The other thing is on maintenance. Are there any maintenance, being conducted? But so far, what I see in Mangsa Maju where I stay, there's none so far. The other thing is that what is it? How do we, let's say, as for me or my other colleagues, can get to work with Encik Amran, Professor Amran? So how do we go about?
Thank you for the question. For maintenance, of course, we have our maintenance team, but we are working together with the communities, like you say, Wangsa Maju, TTDI, Bandar Toraza, and Kampung Pandan. As they are, as our what we call it, eye and ears for TBKL. So we have the what we call it schedule maintenance. Inshallah, kalau kita ada, we have the data or aduan on this, then we will go down and then we will work together with them. For the start, we will what we call it audit our facilities, then we will upgrade that one. Okay, inshallah, that one.
Yeah, can I answer the second question? We are still in the process of engaging all the stakeholders. For example, we through our focus group discussions, we met up with the TTDI community. It so happened that they are well organized and they are willing to contribute towards creating more vibrant places that are connected, through walking and cycling. And they are not the only one. So we are talking to them, and then how they can be connected to the programs by DBKL. And then we go to other areas. So if you are Wangsa Maju, for example, we would like to know, as long as you have a community which is very active and willing to be part of this network. So we are trying to establish a network of community-based initiatives. There are 6 residential zones in our study area, and then we have the CBD. Of course, we are focusing on the CBD itself. So in the next few weeks or months, we are going to try to maximize, optimize the community initiatives. For example, the cycling associations, we identified 6 or 8, and yesterday through this forum, there are a few more. We didn't know that they exist. So now we are going to talk to them again. So eventually, if you feel that you want to be part of it, of course you can approach me after this. But we are going to conduct more and more focus group discussions in the future, and DBKL will be trying to get everybody involved. Please come to me if you need to come to be part of the network. Thank you.
Okay, one last question from on cycling, maybe. Okay.
Hello. Hi, good morning. My name is Titan. I'm just passing by and just want to ask some questions. My first question is when I look at the master plan, just want to know that how much of percentage you put focus on pedestrian and how much percent you put for the cycling. That's my first question. Second and third is related. Second is, would this master plan will be accessible by the public or you will release to the public? If yes, when can we expect it, the release? So,
okay, maybe the first one, Prof. Amran, and the second one, Jasmine.
Okay. First one, we don't have any division of we are going to have 50%, for example, 30% for, but we are treating them both the same because they are interrelated. Sometimes, if you go to other countries, they do have a separate master plan for cycling and another master plan for pedestrians. So what we have here, we're treating both together because they are in the context of connectivity and first mile and last mile. So as long as we capture the different activities that involve cycling and walking, and how we can improve, engage them to be more active and facilitate their safety, comfort, and so on. So we will give equal treatment regardless of everybody walks. So you can say that if you want to focus on walking, then you have to focus more on that. But then cycling is improving, but cycling also is not limited to cycling as we do now. So there could be this technology where people in Malaysia, for example, if they are too lazy to walk, and you have the motorized scooter and so on, those will be the cycling of the future. So we have also to look at that and how the regulations can accommodate all this new technology, and that can also increase the number of people who would like to cycle in any form, and the needs will be different. Thank you.
The second question regarding the publication of our master plan. So we are, as you see, the consultant in their schedule, they are giving us the final draft. So we are now looking the final draft. Inshallah, by third quarter or June this year, we can be able to publicize to public.
Free.
that one free, or I have to buy that. That is that we will look into that. Thank you.
Thank you to all the panelists. I would like to invite you to give our show of appreciations to all the three panelists. Thank you very much, Cik Sulaiman, Prof. Amran, and Cik Fauzi.